Hey, welcome back, everybody, you bums. Check it out. Look at your screen. This might look interesting to you if you don't know what it is, but this is Tabletop Simulator. You are able to play Warhammer online. And I did a little game here, which was my little home brew of Seraphon versus the winning the second place LVO list from Andrew, his Stormcast Eternals list. And spoiler alert, the Stormcast Eternalist won. My brew got smashed, but it was fun with the 4 Engine of the Gods. It was basically a Kroak summoning list. He got 17 points to my 5. We're playing the mission where you get 1 point at the end of your turn for every... We went a very vanilla mission. So 1 point at the end of your turn if you control your home objectives. 3 points if you control theirs. So it's not no LVO like battle plan list going on. It was a very sort of our own thing. But we wanted to see the power of the list in a heads up matchup. Just 1v1, not too much in the way of things. If you look at the board... Let's see, I'll bring it in a little bit. These Kroxigors are being placed as pterodons, so these pterodons are actually trying to fly over and kill these unit adjudicators. It just wasn't not going to happen. It's just no way you can score enough points. But you know, spawning a set of pterodons to fly over there and take something is not too bad of an idea, I guess. They just didn't make it because I wasn't able to actually spawn any pterodons until late. Until the 3rd battle run. But as you can tell, his Star Drake is destroyed. His Star Drake was right here. I don't know if you can see my cursor or not, but he was right there. He died. Basically, these Engine of the Gods, they have an ability where, depending on what it rolls on its Cosmic Engine, you can do D6 mortal wounds to something within something like 25 inches or something like that. And I hit it like 3 times with D6 mortal wounds, doing 5, 5, then 3. So it put 13 mortal wounds on it. It did heal in the combat phase because it has such a high save, so that when attacks do come in, when he makes save rolls on like a 4, 5, and 6 or something like that, he's able to heal. Something ridiculous. But so he healed 1 wound. However, he did end up getting hit by a spell from Lord Kroak. Doing a couple mortal wounds, and then he got hit by the 10-inch range around an Engine of the Gods. Every enemy within 10 inches will take D3 mortal wounds. He took 3 mortal wounds from that. So he did take more than average mortal wounds from the abilities and stuff like that. He only took out 2 units and 1 Engine of the God. So he took out 3 units of stuff. However, you know, I'd say the Seraphon here got the better deal of that. Probably wondering why these knights are down here. Basically, he had a hero here, and you can't put dudes within 9 inches, so he clogged up the area, so these knights had to spawn back here, and they're going to run towards this objective sort of pointlessly. Just you can't kill this blob of Sequitur. They're just too strong. I mean, you can see Sequitur models... or those are Liberator models. You can see a few Sequiturs died. It just didn't matter much. I tried to get a unit of Kroxigors in here. They did nothing. They also got bottlenecked. I think a unit of Pterodon Riders would have been better here. It would have done a little more damage, but nothing really. And just trying to fly over, they've gotten shot in the air and then charged or something like that. But basically, they got a big blob was right here, and then they made a really high charge move, which then was able to stretch the blob into attacking a unit of Skinks. A 10-man unit of Skinks were also getting shot by Judicators, and was able to charge the unit of Kroxigors. At one point, there was a unit of Knights here that got spawned. They got killed by the Incantors and the Heralder, or the Castellan. They were wailing on them. These Saurus Knights fended off a unit of Liberators. The Saurus Knights got spawned. The other Saurus Knights got spawned. These Saurus Knights got spawned. Pterodon Riders got spawned. The Kroxigors here got spawned. I mean, it's mostly summoned units. We summoned a unit of 10 Saurus Warriors. They obviously died. So there's just a lot of spawn that happens. And then I'll show the list at another date. It's just 4 Inch of the Gods, 1 Lord Croak, 1 Astrolith Bearer. He was here, but he just kept getting hit by mortal wounds from this Knight Heralder, which was targeting this ruin and just shitting on all the units around it. So one of those guys. So that's 6 leaders, 2 units of 20 skinks, 1 unit of 10 skinks. Not shown here is the Geminids, and the what do you call it? The Geminids never actually got casted. I just rolled too low, so nothing happened with that. And then the Chromatic Cogs. The Chromatic Cog is not shown, but it's here. And then the Balewind Vortex, the Lord Croak is on, is also here. I don't have models for those, so I just had to notionally do it. Just cogs back here, and then these guys never had time. The Incanters never had time to shut it down, and then the Balewind Vortex here, which it becomes one giant model, so it technically overlaps slightly with this point. So you would have to kill Croak to take the point, or to not have any of my models on the point. Obviously, the Astrolith Bearer died. There's quite a bit of damage on these Inch of the Gods. 4 here, 2 here. Not shown is 5 on the other side. This 3 is just a die. Nothing there. These skinks were hiding here. It probably would have been better to have the skinks deploy here, but they were just a screening unit to just continue screening down the middle. And then they were trying to go on their way there. The skinks were armed with shields and javelins. However, you could sort of put whatever you want on them. They're just that bad. What else to say here? This comet is the nut. 30-something inch range. So a 9 cannon was over here and dropped the comet over here. It was nuts. And then Croak dispelled it and was able to, and then Knight Incantor was able to play again. That's Celestion Star Drake being able to give +1 to your wizards and -1 to your opposing wizards is pretty good. The -1 did come into effect the turn that the Star Drake charged right here, wedging itself in between that and a unit of skinks, obviously completely destroying the unit of skinks. But as you can tell, them getting those 3 points over here, and then in LVO he would have another secret objective he would probably get to max out that 15 points. Obviously, 17 points is more than the 15 that they maxed out at, but I mean, he got every objective except this one. So, and, you know, they probably could have gotten, instead of going after these units, just running them into this blob here and trying to kill the Lord Croak. Maybe. Lord Croak's only got, 10 wounds, and he's got to roll a d6 to see if he lives or dies. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious as to why the Stormcast list is so good. I think if this battle was to not be points-based and was to kill every unit completely, it's just that this large blob here would eventually encroach upon here and just smash everything. It would just smash through everything and kill everything. Right now I'm at 1 summoning point, so I would get 1 for having the general, and then 3 for every possible spell. Right now he can cast 5 spells due to the cogs. So that's 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 points. So you could spawn a unit a turn. So maybe you could gum this giant blob up enough to where it would, just never eventually chew through. Also, these Inch of the Gods can heal. They do have an ability that allows them to heal. So they can heal themselves. And one was healing. So while they were taking damage from things like the comets being flung in, and the Everblaze comet, and the other Starfall, whatever it is from the Drake, was damaging some things. It also damaged the Astrolith Bearer. but they were able to heal. This guy was healing that guy. This guy was healing the other guy. The other guy's dead, but things like that. And when they had the opportunity, because I mean, there's 4 of them, they were just straight up either summon units, deal damage, or heal yourself. I mean, the other ability is everyone gets double the attacks and double the move, but you don't get an. I never rolled an 18, so I never had that option. I also never rolled triple ones or quadruple ones, so I never had the option of taking D3 mortal wounds to myself. So I had those 3 options. So mortal wounds within 10, mortal wounds within 25 or 20, whatever it is, and then summoning a unit or healing. So that's how that played out in those battle rounds. This map had a little more terrain. It had a lot of just junky terrain in the middle of all this, so I was barely able to maneuver anything. I deleted some of the terrain at the beginning of it. So basically there was terrain where all these circles was. There was extra terrain completely blocking this off so you couldn't come through here. And then there was another random piece of terrain or whatever, like another fountain or something. I just had to delete some of that. It was just, I couldn't even move a 50 millimeter. I mean, you couldn't move anything. Everyone was going single file everywhere. So I think there would probably be less terrain in LVO, but more line of sight blocking. So these here are almost not line of sight blocking whatsoever. I mean, this corner is probably the best, and this thing here, but most of this is not. So I think there'd be a little more line of sight blocking in LVO. I've seen a lot of those tables. It's just, I mean, what's the point of a piece of terrain where you have low wall ruins that nothing can hide behind? I mean, it's good at hindering a movement of a tank or a large unit, so that's what this is for. But I think in most tables, it'll look a little more cleared up than it being so full of stuff. This is a piece of terrain that I was going to delete, but I just left there. I think that's the analyzation of the battle. I think this is basically what happened. I'm trying to think of other things to add. I do normally have 15-minute videos, and we're a little short. I put the war scrolls here so it'd be easier because you can actually see what you roll. It'll pop up here so you can see that. And also I had war scrolls here, so if I needed to reference what's going on, I use these war scrolls. And it's a lot easier than pulling my phone out for 2 different armies to see what things do. It was a lot easier to have some war scrolls on the table. And yeah. Tell me what you think about this battle. Tell me if you think I missed anything, or maybe if movement should have been different. I mean, look at this model. It's pretty sweet, though, isn't it? It's unfortunate that some of these are like, I think they're called like paper or something like that. Let me rotate this. Yeah, you see that 2D model? But then you have this one here that's like a 3D. So it just depends on who is going around to do those things. I think that's pretty cool. And also Games Workshop is firing out cease and desist to all these. So it's not the program that's making this, it's individual content makers that are modding and putting the mods up. But you can throw a cease and desist to a modder, and he can be like, okay, I'll cease. I'll stop. But his shit's still out there. You know what I mean? If he takes it down, I mean, somebody else can put it up. I mean, so, or they could just not respond whatsoever and go dark, and then what's GW going to do? They're just going to go press forward to try and charge this guy. So these things are still up. You can get them. I think they shut some people down, but there's just more to take their place. New accounts, new people, whatever. So they can't, shut it down. And almost nobody plays this game or even does content on it because, I don't know, it's not alluring to do. People would rather play on the tabletop. So yeah, I hope you have an outstanding evening, morning, what the fuck ever. I don't care.